Hello Overclockers and welcome to this week's episode of News Weekly. This is where we bring you the latest gaming and tech news. I'm going to be going over a new motherboard launch, an announcement from Intel and also some interesting game news. To jump to a story, check the description for timestamps. Let's get started. Kicking off the video with hardware news, Intel's Architecture Day took place on August the 13th, and amongst other big announcements, we finally got more news on their discrete gaming graphics for desktops. This means that Intel is going to be going head-to-head against big companies like Nvidia and AMD. We don't have a huge amount of information just yet, and Intel is remaining rather tight-lipped. However, we do know it will be aimed at the mid-tier and enthusiast markets. Xe HPG is based on the entry-level Xe LP microarchitecture, which can be found in the upcoming Intel Tiger Lake CPUs. It will also take features from Xe HP and Xe HPC, which are made for the professional and supercomputer market. The performance is expected to be comparable to next-gen Nvidia and AMD, and it will use GDDR6 memory, have ray tracing support, and also be manufactured by an outside foundry. Intel have not yet announced who, but it's likely to be TSMC. I find it very exciting that Intel is soon going to be entering the gaming graphics market, and even though there's still loads of unanswered questions, Intel has announced a release date for 2021. Hopefully they're not going to keep us waiting. If you'd like some more in-depth information on the subject, I have written a blog post which you can find on the Overclockers website, and the link will be in the description below. The next story is that on August the 18th, AMD officially launched the A520 chipset. This means there is now cheap entry-level motherboards available for Ryzen 3000. They'll also be compatible with upcoming AM4 processors should you wish to upgrade in the future. It does lack features such as overclocking and PCIe Gen 4 support, which you can find on the slightly more expensive B550 and X570 motherboards. However, pricing does start at only $61.99. Over previous generations, A520 has upgraded USB connectivity and also a faster Wi-Fi and Ethernet controller. This all results in a better overall user experience. To check out the range of available A520 motherboards, head over to the Overclockers website. Moving on to the gaming news, our first story is about Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is off to a flying start. The game was released on August 18th, and there has been a huge amount of hype thanks to the incredible graphics and the unique way the extremely detailed map is streamed. You can see just how far the gameplay has come in the history trailer that was released only a few days ago just before the launch. I'm pleased to say that it absolutely lives up to the hype, and it's been rated very highly on all the major review sites. It's currently sitting in a joint first place with Half-Life Alyx on Metacritic with a score of 93. The reviews on Steam are a little bit more mixed, but it's less about the gameplay and more about the poor launcher. After you get past the initial 150GB download, the game will run very smoothly on a reasonable gaming PC. There's a range of features, challenges and tutorials to ensure that it's great fun for both the dedicated simmer and the casual gamer. The game retails for £60 on Steam, and I'm looking forward to playing it and exploring the beautiful map. The next story is about the new game Fall Guys, which is showing absolutely no signs of slowing down. The developers behind the game have wasted no time at all partnering up with different companies and creating some really cool custom design skins. There's recently been a leak on Twitter detailing a new design based on My Friend Pedro and also Portal as well. They are also auctioning off a custom skin to the highest bidder. All of the funds from the auction will be going to the UK charity Special Effect, which helps gamers with physical disabilities. The contest is going to be running for 2 weeks, and we've already had really big bids from companies like G2 Esports, Mr Beast and Ninja. The current highest bid is sitting at $330,000, but I'm sure by the time this video goes live that probably would have changed, and I cannot wait to see where this goes. Moving on, the next story is about Baldur's Gate Early Access, which was meant to be happening sometime in August, but was unfortunately recently delayed. During the Panel from Hell event, which happened on August the 18th, the developers at Larian Studios announced a new early access release date of September 30th. This version of the game will include roughly 25 hours of gameplay, and you'll have access to the entire first act. There's going to be 5 different origin characters and 6 different classes to choose between, and you'll have plenty of opportunity to try out the different combat mechanics. Baldur's Gate 3 is expected to be in early access for at least a year, and there's clearly still plenty of work to be done as the developers have admitted there's lots of bugs and issues they still need to fix. It's clear that Larian Studios wants lots of input and feedback from its community during these last developmental stages. It's good to see a big developer interacting with its audience in such a way, and I'm sure it will help to create a better game. Our final story is about Epic Games taking on two of the biggest names in the tech industry. Whew. You might have heard that both Apple and Google have removed Fortnite from their app stores. The companies say this is because the game violates their guidelines by allowing players to purchase V-Bucks without using their own payment systems. Apparently, these strict payment rules are in place to protect consumers. However, Epic isn't particularly happy and it is speaking out against the restrictions. It claims both companies are being very anti-competitive and has accused them of operating a monopoly. Apple and Google both currently take a 30% fee from developers. Epic Games has filed 2 antitrust lawsuits and it has even made a video parody of Apple's famous 1984 advert where it called out IBM for having a monopoly of the gaming market at the time. Epic has also spoken out and said Google has gone against its famous "Don't be evil" slogan. Apple has retaliated in a devastating way by cutting off Epic's access to development tools, which it needs to create future versions of Unreal Engine to be used on both macOS and iOS. This will have a huge impact on developers that use the engine, and I'm sure we are in for a very public, very bloody battle as the situation continues to escalate. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Overclockers News Weekly. Let us know in the comments what you think of Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to press the bell icon as well so you don't miss next week's episode.